So I want you to think about the 3 steps of the trail foot as being rolled in during the release, big toe into the ground when you get to 3 o'clock, and then pivoting all the way up onto the finish position where you have the heel of your shoe pointed back at the crowd behind you. This is where everybody's taking pictures of you. This is your statue position. So today is all about the brakes. That's right, we're gonna be working on the brakes. We're gonna be doing that by using one of my favorite methods to get students to slow the body down with all that rotational force that you generate in the swing so the club can release. Remember this, we have to get the golf club from one side of the ball to the other. And we've got 2 really big options that we can do so. I can take and turn my body and keep my arms connected, and I can get the club going pretty much as fast as my body can turn, right? Or I can stop the body rotation and let the wrist go. Now, every single good golf swing that exists under the sun, when they're trying to hit the golf ball a long ways, has a slowdown to their body rotation at some point at or around the point of contact. Now, how I like to slow the body down is generally through that good solid post-up movement on the lead side. But I know a lot of you play a sport where your trail side, so my right side in this case, is the more dominant side. It's the more coordinated side of the body. And some of you need to focus in on what you should be doing with that area of the body in order to get some good success. So in this first step, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get really connected to the piece of the puzzle that you're gonna stay connected to as you start to go further and further into it. And just like all my other drills that live on the website or on YouTube, is that if you find that you don't get the connection that you're looking for with what I'm describing, then there's a pretty good chance that this drill is not designed for you specifically. I want you to work on the right things at the right time. I don't want you just to work on things just because Jerome Ruffin is working on it. You get what I'm saying? Okay, good. Now, I'm gonna put a video up of Tiger, and we wanna look at this trail foot action, and you'll find that a lot of really good players have something very similar to this. And if you watch the trail foot when the hands and arms start to work down in front of the body, into the point of contact and through the release, what you see is that that trail foot is rolled inward, but it's down on the ground. It's not popped way up off the ground. And it stays down until the hands get well outside of the hitting area when the release is fully done. And then as the release is starting to be fully done here, what you'll notice is that we now start to pivot up onto the toe into finish. That's the piece that you always see because golf swings are happening really fast, right? That downswing is happening in less than a quarter of a second. Golf clubs are going upwards of 115, 120 miles an hour. You're not really seeing that slowdown effect because it only happens for a brief moment in time. Now in this first step, we're gonna try to keep things as dumbed down and as simple as possible just to make sure that you're ready to start moving into step 2 where we start picking up the pace. And so what I like to do here is some hip high to hip high swings where we're really just focusing in on the wrists and the arms being as supple and relaxed as we can, getting the club to swing from a toe up to toe up position, just like I am here, but focusing in on moving the pressure to your right ankle and then rolling to the inside portion of it as the club starts to release to the other side. And we're gonna do somewhere between 25 to 50 reps, believe it or not, of just this little small movement because we want max connection to this trail foot. So I want you to go ahead and take your setup. Okay, you can have a golf ball down on the ground, have your eyes focused on it. We're not hitting balls at first. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and shift our weight to our trail ankle and turn back so the club is toe up. Now from here, before I start letting the club swing to the other side, I wanna roll to the inside portion of this trail foot. What you see here is my entire body moved left, and now I'm just gonna let the club swing to a toe up position. Toe up to toe up. So I'm going load to the trail ankle, roll to the inside, let the club release. I want you to feel like you get there and then the club swings to the other side. So really focused reps here. Your eyes should be staying down here on the golf ball. You don't need to look up and see anything. You're not hitting any golf balls. It's not that pretty yet. You get what I'm saying? Okay, good. Now, step number 2 is where we get to take those breaks and we get to start turning this into a whole lot of fun and start hitting some golf balls and making this thing a little bit more realistic. But I want to start out by saying with a big disclaimer and a big caveat here that as many years that I've been teaching this game, there is a good portion of people that will actually get a little bit too much of the Kool-Aid and they will leave this trail foot down as long as they possibly can And that, my friends at home, is gonna start to put a lot of stress on your lower vertebrae. And I'm not in the business of blowing out hips or backs here. You understand what I'm saying? So what we wanna remember is that in the golf swing, there's timing basically surrounding every single movement that we create. In a real golf swing, what we wanna remember is that the trail foot needs to be down what we wanna remember is that the trail foot needs to be down only till the release is fully done. And what you just did in step number 1 is you work to a position where the release is considered fully done at this point. Now what we're gonna start out by doing is we're gonna be working on kind of a short to long sort of scenario here, where we're basically just trying to get to a 3 o'clock position on the lead side of the body. But we're doing that now by taking that trail foot and keeping it rolled inward until the release is done. And then as the hands and arms start to pass up through that position, now we're gonna get up and point our big toe into the ground. So we're allowing the right side of the body to start to release so that we can get into a safer position when it's all said and done. So it's gonna start out by looking a little like this, and we're gonna start out real slow. And as we get the swing to be kind of into that full 9-3 format, then we can start to practice and hit some shots here, and then we can get ready to move into the final step. Okay, so we're gonna start out by going just outside my right hip, roll, let the club release. The hands and arms are gonna move up to 3 o'clock, and now I'm getting into that big toe. Okay, and there's my finish position for now. Okay, so we're gonna do a handful of reps just to get the feel for it and the timing. Okay, watch it closely here, because you will see that it's still on the ground as I'm picking up the pace, and it stays there until the release is done. Now I'm gonna start making the swing a little bit longer. Okay, and if you get a good feel for it, then I would start out by going and doing like a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1 ratio. Have a golf ball down on the ground, focus on the trail foot, keeping the suppleness in the hands and the arms, and start to make sure that you land in the correct spot when it's all done. If you do 3 reps in a row that are perfect, then reward yourself and hit a shot. We wanna make our practice sessions enjoyable here, and we wanna be able to work on getting just that 1% better on a new movement every time we go out and practice. So make your practice sessions meaningful. So here we go, first rep. Okay, I felt like that was perfect. Felt pretty good again. Okay, felt really good connection to all 3 of those swings. Just thinking about that right foot action. Okay, perfect, solid contact. Now, again, what you just saw was the starting point and the finish position of 3 o'clock. You just saw me move through impact, but I can assure you that there is a slowdown of the body that's taking place there in order for me to get the club to go as fast as it just did. I mean, I'm hitting 8 iron. It's going probably 130 yards on nothing of a golf swing. And you're gonna be able to do the exact same thing. So let's go ahead and do another set here. Okay, just focusing on the trail foot action, keeping the wrists really supple. Okay. Okay, again, good solid contact. Now, if at any point you lose sight of the timing and you don't know if you're doing this correctly or not, then what I would do is go back to step number 1. Take your time, make little small swings, come back into step number 2, short to long, get the timing built back in it, start feeling some freedom of movement, and then you can start working into this final step where now we start making some full golf swings. Step number 3, this is where we just make this a full golf swing, but I'm gonna do exactly what I did in step number 2. I'm gonna be starting from a shorter position and moving now all the way to a full finish. So I want you to think about the 3 steps of the trail foot as being rolled in during the release, big toe into the ground when you get to 3 o'clock, and then pivoting all the way up onto the finish position where you have the heel of your shoe pointed back at the crowd behind you. This is where everybody's taking pictures of you. This is your statue position. Now, a great tip that my grandfather gave me when I was a little kid that I will never forget is that he wanted me to hold my finish position until the golf ball stopped rolling. And the reason why I found that to be such a helpful tip when I was a kid is because it taught me how to move into good balance. If I landed in that spot every single time, then I know I didn't have a lot of forces that were misplaced in the golf swing. I wasn't overusing the shoulders or the arms, or I wasn't not using my legs or my hips. And so I really want you to kind of take and encompass that same sort of feel even in your drill swings here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start out by going to 9 o'clock. We're rolling to the inside portion, letting the club release, moving up onto the big toe, and then up into finish as it moves past it. Again, things are gonna be moving pretty quickly here, so you're gonna not see what's happening down here at impact, you're gonna just see the finish position. But rest assured, it is always happening in a golf swing where you get speed out down at impact. Okay, I'm gonna try to hit a shot. So I held up onto that big toe until the golf ball came down. Teaches you good discipline, teaches you to know that, hey, I'm moving to a good spot, people are taking their pictures of you, and everybody's happy. Let's do one more set here. I may make it a little bit longer. Again, all I'm focusing in on is the trail foot and keeping the hands and arms nice and relaxed. So that right there, my friends, is a great and simple little drill that teaches you kind of the 3 phases of braking in the golf swing. Full brakes, letting the brakes slowly come up, and then moving into a full finish position. And you have no idea just how many faults a simple drill of this actually fixes in your golf swing. It fixes early extension, it fixes you spinning out, it fixes your sequence. It just helps a lot of really, really big important faults that you guys bring to the table. So I would get out there and stay focused on your trail foot action. Work on building into it just like I taught you here today. Take your time, start small, and remember, we're here to get 1% better. We're not trying to bite off more than we can chew. And if you like today's video, do me a big favor, head down below and hit the thumbs up button. If you have any questions or comments, maybe you go out there and get some great success with this drill, please feel free to post that stuff up below. It helps us out tremendously. And if you are sitting on the sidelines and you are not yet subscribed to the channel, then do me a big favor, head down below. It doesn't cost you anything. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your bell notifications. It helps us tremendously. And we love to continue to spread our message, the right message, the safe message, and the most efficient swings in golf. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day.